Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a good day, and above all else, that you're indeed looking after yourselves and one another. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, me and the gang here. Mr. Ken Cheshire, how's it going, Ken?
Going fine, Armando. This ought to be another good one.
It'll be a good one. And the one and only Mr. Jim Bricker.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good that you're back. Ladies and gentlemen, Frickin' Frack and I are going to be talking to you about our Uh, this is another episode of Perfection Confection Hits of the 1980s. All right. Now, this is another episode where I'm going to be hosting due to circumstances that were beyond my control. And I was going to say, when I say we, I mean Ken and Jim have picked 10 songs, one per year from 1980 to 1989. And we're going to give you, or they're going to give you, their perspective on those songs. And of course, me being the quiet individual that I usually am, I'm going to chirp in from time to time with my opinion of said song. All right. So as I look at my screen here, let's go with Jim.
Okay. Also, Armando, please don't feel shy. You can always throw in a song of your own from that year if you feel it meets that perfection confection level of
Yep.
greatness.
I shall do so. I shall do so.
Or you can comment on how brilliant our selections are.
Yes.
Don't I
Don't
always?
be shy. Don't be shy.
Yeah. If there's one thing about me is I'm shy. All right.
Yes, very demure.
Yeah.
I think Venditti, when translated into English, means demure, but that's French. Never mind. Okay, let's go. 1980. We're going to start off with maybe the ultimate banger of bangers, in my opinion. And this would be, it reached the heights of number 10 on the Billboard, US Billboard Hot 100 charts. And this is Don't Stand So Close to Me by the Police. Um, I there's just something about this song that just is stunningly perfect in its arrangement and its execution. I mean, going from like near mere nothing with that just acoustic bass note that's just held as you start to hear, Stuart and Andy sort of come over Sting, and it just builds into this massive chorus. Um, the performances are all fantastic. You get this great sort of like guitar synth solo in the middle that comes from nowhere. Or I don't know if it's a synth or if it's these just sustained effect notes that Andy is putting in there. Lyrically, it's a great twist on Boy Meets Girl, or rather a lascivious twist on Boy Meets Girl. Um,
Teacher meets student.
Yes, exactly. Lolita, anyone?
This
Um,
girl is half his age. All right. I mean,
yes, and Sting swears it's not autobiographical, so we're gonna go with that, even though he was a teacher for a time.
nudge, nudge,
Um,
wink, wink. Go on.
yeah, I think "Don't Stand So Close to Me" is one. I mean, the Police have, their catalog is just rife with perfect pop tunes, and to me, this is one of the most perfect. Just a standout in its arrangement, the storytelling, the performances. I can listen to Stuart Copeland play drums all day, and this is just such a delightful example of how creative and fluid he is. So, yeah, and plus, what else sounds like this song? It's incredibly distinctive,
Hmm.
and it really stands apart from everything else that was going on the pop charts. A little reggae, a little new wave, um, a little punk. It's great, outstanding.
Hmm.
Police, 1980, kaboom.
There you go. Mic drop. All right. Ken, what do you?
Okay. 1980. Um, Great song. I don't know what it charted. Don't care. I still love it. We've spoken about this artist and mentioned this song specifically in a previous episode. Elvis Costello and the Attractions Clubland.
Yes.
A cracker of a song. Like I said, this is kind of a bit of a first cousin to his earlier track, Watching the Detectives.
Yeah.
It's it's a wonderful, he paints a picture with this song. A little 3.5 minute little no, film noir kind of thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Catchy hooks, just wonderful musicianship, great lyrics. It just shows how brilliant Elvis was at that time, late 70s, early 80s.
Hmm. Okay.
What's it mean though, Ken?
We don't have that much time to go into it. It's one of his songs. He wrote several songs that reflected the nightlife, in clubs and after hours, and the seedy characters and whatnot in those situations. And this is one of those songs. By the way, Don't Stand So Close. Didn't they do a re-recording of that
Yeah, in
later?
1986 for the greatest hits compilation.
I'd
Uh,
like to just flush that from my memory if possible.
really? I think it's
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
not comparatively, but I think it was a nice little re-record. At least they didn't try to do it exactly the same way.
I
So
think I think an artist has a right to try and re-record their own music if they want to.
yeah,
I mean, it's not like
Hmm.
you would have like a heavy metal band do a version of Don't Stand So Close to Me.
But that might be really, really fun.
well, Pat Boone did a metal album, so there you go.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
be
trying to
open to
get that
hear.
image of the album cover out of my head. Um,
Leather vest, hairy chest, spikes. No, but yeah, Jim. But let's face it, Elvis was notorious for re-recording his songs.
yeah,
Sure.
Different versions and whatever, and to
Prince was
various,
another one.
yeah, to various, results. Some I
Hmm.
like, some are meh, and especially live. When Elvis is live, he goes all over the place with those old songs. But anyway,
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
All
we've
right.
discussed, and yep, love that. I just think the version of for a song that's just so distinctive, it was interesting to me that they chose to re-record that because when you're buying a greatest hits album, you would expect to get the greatest hits in its, original form. And I would think, I'm not saying Don't Stand So Close to Me in its 1980 form is like a holy relic and can't be redone, but I just it just lost. It probably had to do with when it was done. I mean, it was 1986, so you're deep in that 80s sound and technology, and to me, it just kind of
It missed the mark for you. Yeah.
it missed the mark for me. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you,
You're very
Armando.
welcome.
You should just say everything I'm going to say because you're able to just get it out there
I
sooner than I
usually am
can.
able to. It's okay. I mean, it's
Yeah, there you
okay.
go.
It's okay.
Playing the part
Okay.
of Jim Bricker in this episode will be Armando
Yeah.
Venditti.
Yes. And it's in Jim's natural form. Okay. Okay.
Hey,
Um, Never mind. Okay. All right, Jim, over to you for 1981.
speaking of Elvis Costello, we are going to go to an album that Elvis Costello produced from 1981 and extract one of the greatest pop songs of all time from it, US Billboard Hot 100, number 49. This is Tempted by Squeeze. Um, wow.
Is
So
that
this
where Tempted by the Fate of Another?
Tempted by the Fruit of Another.
By the
Yep.
Fruit of Another. Okay.
Sung by Paul Carrick,
That's right.
one of the
That's right.
few Squeeze songs that he
That's
the
right.
did.
only album he was on, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's just an outstanding song that just paints um, such a vivid picture of uh, oh, shall we call it just torn emotions, not really knowing which way to go with things. Just the whole, just the whole chorus, tempted by the fruit of another, tempted, but the truth is discovered. What's been going on now that you've been gone? I mean, it's just delightful, delightful,
Yeah,
delightful
and in
song.
terms of not knowing where to go, in Canada we call that the government, but that's another issue altogether. Um,
Not
no,
just
so I know
Canada.
what you mean. No, it's a good song. It is a good song.
Yeah, it's an absolute banger. And just the fact that I mentioned it and you're like, "Oh, tempted," it's like the lyric immediately came to your mind. It's just a
And it was the vocal
perfect.
delivery. I can hear the voice
Well,
in
and
Yeah.
my
Paul
head.
Carrick can deliver that blue-eyed soul the way that no one in Squeeze could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so because it was Elvis's idea to slow it down and put that swagger into it.
yeah,
Otherwise, it was one of those kind of boppy Squeeze songs.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so, oh yeah, the combination of Costello, uh, and Paul Carrick was amazing. I would have loved to hear them work together more.
Yeah.
As close as we ever got was Paul Carrick's uh, Suburban Voodoo that was produced by Nick Lowe. That's as
Yep.
close as we got, but it's a first cousin for sure.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. All right.
Even though I'm the only one of us that liked that album, but
You're
that's okay.
forgiven.
Moving
You're forgiven. All right. You're forgiven for liking that album. All right. Ken, over to you for the next one.
on. Okay. All right.
Ah!
1981. Anybody that really knows me personally will be surprised at my choice on this one. Um, uh, Sometimes thought of as somewhat cringe. The Greg Kihn Band with the breakup song. It.
Oh my God. Okay.
I know, but doggone it, I still find it very, very catchy. I mean, this is pop, you know,
Yeah.
but there's
Catches in
good
my
pop
throat.
and bad pop. But this was okay. It had
You know
that.
why it's so catchy?
Why is it catchy?
It's because they don't write them like that anymore.
Well, you know what else is catchy? The common
Thank you,
cold. I don't
ladies
want
and
to catch
gentlemen.
it
We'll catch
either.
you in the next video.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say because his last name sounds like my first name, but that's okay.
No, no.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I remember the that song. Okay. Okay.
I would much rather listen to the breakup song than I would Jeopardy. I just got so sick and tired of hearing Greg Kid Band's Jeopardy.
Well, I got sick of hearing Weird Al Yankovic's version of "I Lost on Jeopardy."
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. All right, Jim, your next one.
We should, boy, now my head is flowing with some really great deep cut Greg Kihn songs, but
Okay.
another episode on that
Yes.
one.
Yes.
On 1982, uh, Perfection Confection via Australia. This is Don't Change from In Excess. Um, didn't go very high on the US Top 100, only went to number 80,
Nope.
but man, this is an absolute banger, an ass shaker, if I may, of a track. Just really energetic, up tempo, very, very hooky. Um, yeah, this was the song. Um, I think this was on Shabu Shaba, which I think had the same, which had, oh boy, The One Thing, I think was the other hit from
Yeah,
this album, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Um, and both of those songs, The One Thing starts the album, Don't Change ends it. Just absolutely both fantastic tracks. Um,
Yeah. Good one.
uh,
Good one.
highly recommended. Highly, highly recommended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never even heard Don't Change until just probably about 3 years ago. And I didn't know that's who it was because I was used to the NXS from the Kick days. And I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
they
whoa. the really good song, and I checked it out, and it's like, wow, you know,
Yeah.
to
If I
this
can
day, it's
mention
my favorite
another
song.
NXS track, Original Sin,
Yeah.
produced by
Oh
Noel
yeah,
Rogers.
sure.
Oh, sure. You betcha.
Produced by Noel Rogers. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a good one. Also, I have another one from 1982, but I'll hold off. Ken?
I'm gonna go with one of the unsung, no pun intended, um, lead men from the late 70s, early 80s. That's Eddie Money, and I think I'm in love.
Okay.
Um,
It's just infatuation, but go on.
he's he's got such a good voice. He kind of has a bit of that raspiness.
Hmm.
Um, I never saw him live, but I heard he was really energetic and did the frontman thing really well. And from everything that I've heard, he's just a really nice person too, which,
Hmm.
in rock and roll, I give credit for whenever it's due. Um, I think it's catchy. It does have that early 80s, production value, but I thought it worked. I thought it worked.
Yeah.
I still prefer his first album, but still, I thought this is a very good single.
Okay. For 82, the one track I've mentioned this before, Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen.
Yep.
Um, very original production, very original arrangement, live instrumentation, the use of banjo, of violin on it, and the lyrics. I mean, you had to really listen to pick up what Kevin was singing. How he, because his phrasing is very muddled, but it's basically about a song about someone who wants to get into his girlfriend's pants, or
Go figure.
skirt, and you know, but it was very catchy, and you could not go to a house party in
Sure.
'82 without listening to that on the stereo at some point. Um, but it was just very catchy, very original. They're only hit in North America. They've released other albums in Europe that were
Yeah.
successful,
Yeah.
but they're only hit in North America. Come on, Eileen, Dexys Midnight Runners on Vertigo Records. Go find it. All right. Uh,
And the horn section went on to work with Elvis Costello.
there you
Okay.
go. There you go. Jim.
Maybe this will be an all Elvis Costello episode in one way or another.
6 degrees of
Uh,
separation. Yeah.
They always
there
go
we go.
on.
Let's see if we can do that. Okay. 1983. This song was inescapable and hit number 6 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100s. And in its album form, it's a very lengthy track, and it's even edited down as a single. It's pretty lengthy, but it's undeniably great, and that is "Total Eclipse of the Heart" by Bonnie Tyler.
Yes.
I knew this would scratch Armando's itch for theater rock because, of course, the mighty Jim Steinman is the author of this. Originally intended for a Meatloaf album, Midnight at the Lost and Found, I think that's what it was.
Yep.
Um, and this one goes back to like it. Parts of it were written back in 1969, and it's sort of evolved over the years till it was finally released.
If I may
But
interject something,
please.
background vocals done by Rory Dodd. Um, the original version was 6 minutes and 59 seconds of beauty. Very epic, very grand, but beautiful. Please continue.
I was going to say very epic, very grand, very beautiful. I mean, it's again, nothing else sounded like that on the pop charts at the time. Even even what's the Air Supply hit that Jim Steinman wrote? Making love
Making
out of
love out of
nothing at
nothing
all.
at all. Hmm.
Even that, even though you can sense that the DNA is similar in that song and just the way the song is written and structured, Total Eclipse is its own like beautiful beast of a diamond. I I get why people slag on it because it's, kind of overblown and overdone in parts, but that's what makes it so grand and special. See, I can take my theater rock in small doses, and especially when it's just so freaking well done. And this is to me a outstanding example of that craft.
Of pomposity done properly.
Prop, proper pomposity.
All right. Oh, I love. Oh my God, now. Playlist to follow, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Yes.
Ken.
Ken.
I'm going with one of my favorite singer-songwriters um, of the late 70s, and he made it into the 80s, but not much longer after this. Jackson Brown, and that's his song "Lawyers in Love."
Woo! Mm,
Yeah, it's
tasty.
it's it's got that the 80s production value, but man, the song itself is, I think, just very catchy. It's creative. He's not taking himself too seriously. Um, the guys that, um, I mean, he's written some of the best singer-songwriter stuff, in the late 70s. Um, and he hit big with Running on Empty, the live album. Followed that up by The Pretender, which is just an incredible album. And
I think The Pretender came first, but
was it? Okay.
you can fact check me later.
Nah, it's okay. I trust you.
No, we're going to stop the
Okay.
show. We're going to do it now. Let's go.
But Lawyers in Love, it's it's no pretender for sure, but it's got the hooks.
Yeah.
It's got all those elements, and it's one of the songs that I wouldn't change the radio station if it came on. I just turn it
Yeah.
up a little bit and enjoy it and move on.
Yeah.
But we're talking pop songs, so this fits.
I'm going to kick in two tracks from 1983. The Fix, Reach the Beach, One
Yes,
Thing Leads to Another, and Saved by Zero.
yes,
Both catchy,
yep,
both Perfection Confection, but for different reasons. One Thing Leads to Another is more immediate, ear candy, but not no no less deep in term. I'm
yep.
sorry. I'm sorry. There's only coffee in my mug, ladies and gentlemen. It's too early for
Maybe
bed.
that's the problem.
Saved by Zero. I'm ignoring that. Saved by Zero is more layered, more deep in terms of, in my opinion, its lyrical content and lyrical
Yes,
meaning and significance, but
yes.
no less Perfection Confection. So those are my two picks for 1983.
Yeah, that album is great, and I really do like Shuttered Room also. I love the guitar work on those. It's
Yep.
it's it's a clean Stratocaster, but it's not plain, if you get my understanding, and just really
Um,
good
yeah,
stuff, catchy
um,
tunes.
yeah, Shuttered Room. A little side note. I'll talk to you off camera about it. But great nonetheless.
Yep.
Jim,
I'm disappointed there's been no Elvis Costello references from 1983. What's wrong with us?
until now, or what?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Ellis, yeah, Elvis was alive. There you go. There's your
Here
There
we
you go. It
go.
was maybe my idea to link everything to Elvis in some way was a brilliant mistake. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's not jump to conclusions. We're not done
Oh,
yet.
okay, all right. 1984. I don't know why people hate on this song. I think it's just frickin' perfect. And this is Uptown Girl by Billy Joel, which hit, number 39. Um, First of all, this song is I got to give props to Billy Joel. Not only can he write an amazing pop track, but apparently he had some killer inspiration about this. So this song was originally written when he was dating Elle Macpherson and ended up not coming out until he was dating and engaged to Christy Brinkley. Now, I just think that says it all.
Who was in the video too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't realize it gets hate.
I think people are just kind of tired of it. Well,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, that makes
maybe
sense.
they think it's too simplistic, but
Yeah.
Well, to
But
me,
see, it
it apes the aesthetic that he was going for of that album,
well,
of
that's
that
right. It
late 50s,
definitely
early 60s,
yeah, it
crooner
definitely
stuff.
fits in, the theme of that album
Hmm.
and maybe taking it out of context.
mhm.
People didn't get it, but it definitely plays an important part in that album overall. Um,
Well, to
but
me,
yeah, I mean
to me,
that's the music he was listening to growing up.
yeah,
Oh
So
yeah,
and to me, he sounds like he's doing his he's doing his Frankie Valli
sure,
in
yeah.
his vocal delivery. So yeah, a good song,
good song.
good song.
It's a
Pop
fantastic
Perfection
song. What's wrong with
Confection,
you people? Yes, exactly. Remember the title here,
Perfection
Perfection with an
Confection.
X.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, Ken.
I would venture to guess that my next choice is the only song on any of our lists that was written by Burt Bacharach.
Probably. There's your Elvis
Yeah,
Costello connection.
yeah, that's true. That is the connections. Naked Eyes. There's always something there to remind me.
Ooh, okay.
Um,
Hit me with
you know,
that.
we
Go on.
we talk about covers and remakes here fairly often, and I think this is it's just a crack of one. It's just so good. They didn't go, with the original 60s style or anything.
Yeah,
They made it what what they do best. And I love these first two Naked Eyes albums. And for those that didn't know it, the two primary members of Naked Eyes at one time were in a band with the two guys from
Tears for Fears,
Tears for Fears.
Graduate,
Yes. A
and
fascinating combination, which I think there are two of their songs you can find on YouTube. It's
one of
interesting.
the members from Naked Eyes would go on to being Climate Fisher in
Oh,
1987 with the track "Love Changes Everything."
okay. I didn't get that one. Yeah, but this whole album, is just really good. This is in the US at least, this is their most popular song.
Yeah,
Um,
that and Promises, Promises. Yeah,
Promises, Promises. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, just to interject something really quickly, there is no doubt that that song, the arrangement of it, the whole like, okay, it's 80s synth pop,
That's
perfection,
right.
confection, from start to finish. They made it their own. I didn't even know it was a Burt Bacharach composition. I had no idea.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is sometimes people hear the term or the label synth pop and either automatically love it or don't.
Hmm.
Synth pop in any other genre, there's really good stuff in that genre and there's really bad stuff. This is the
Music is music. You like what you like. And I don't
That's right.
care if it's ABBA or if it's Whitesnake or if it's Sesame Street. You like what you like. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's not even go there. I mean, I'm sorry.
Too late. You went there.
Okay.
Now I've got White Snake and the Snuffleupagus just completely melded in my brain. So
Personally, I go for the Snuffleupagus on certain days, but that's another issue altogether. Um, okay, we're in 83,
four.
84.
84. If I may interject something,
please
For
do.
my pick for 84, really quickly, this is a track that was first featured or premiered in 1983. So it's an 83, 84 composition, presented live at First Avenue Club in Minneapolis. This is the original version of this song from Prince and the Revolution. Purple Rain clocking in at 11 minutes and change. This was done live in August of 1983 for a benefit uh, for a dance school in Minneapolis that Prince funded and did charity work for. This was again featured live at First Avenue. This was Wendy Melvoin's first gig with the Revolution. They did the entire album of Purple Rain, wasn't even recorded yet. And this 11-minute version of Purple Rain features an additional verse that was edited out at the very last minute uh, before they released the album. Blistering, beautiful. You can check out the concert on YouTube, but Purple Rain is an album, is a fantastic album from start to finish. But Purple Rain, the track itself, is my pick. It is a masterpiece. It is Perfection Confection.
It does.
And another side note, Prince approached Stevie Nicks to help write lyrics for the track, but she was too scared to do it, so she backed out.
Probably a good decision. But, yeah.
Probably.
All right, Jim.
Jim.
Speaking of Graduate and speaking of Tears for Fears, I gotta give it to Head Over Heels.
Yeah.
Um, I think obviously the big three from this record are Shout, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and Head Over Heels. My perception is that people are more drawn to or remember more um, those first two tracks, and Head Over Heels doesn't isn't held in the same high regard,
Yeah.
which I think is a frickin' crime because I think Head Over Heels is just an absolute
Yeah.
perfect piece of pop songwriting.
Yeah.
Whether it's the version that comes with the broken tag at the end
Which
or
I
just
love.
stands on its own, yeah, um, it's just a phenomenal piece of songwriting and performance. That goes into the big crowd choir section at the end with the sing along. And it's just so wonderfully done.
Hmm.
And the yeah, Roland's singing on it is just absolutely astounding too.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Sure.
Ken.
I'll give you a clue. The Breakfast Club.
Gee,
Forget about me.
what could it be? Yep.
First simple, the first Simple Minds song I ever heard. Um, because they were more popular overseas than they are in the US,
Mhm.
except for, you know, underground and stuff like that. But they used in the film, they especially used it to great effect. And it's just very catchy. It's a wonderful cover. Um, and it at least in the US, it brought a whole new audience to Simple Minds.
Oh, sure.
Um, I still don't tire of hearing it. I still like it. So
Yeah.
what else can you say?
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
I'm being flooded with memories right now, and it hurts. I'm not joking. It hurts.
Okay,
But um,
it's another
I
video.
understand what you're saying. A very infectious track. Perfection Confection. My pick for
Absolutely.
85, we're going back to Tears for Fears, released February 25th, 1985 for Vertigo Records and Mercury Records in the UK and in the US. Side one, track four, Mother's Talk.
When the Wind Blows.
With the lead off lyric, My future's foreign with the change in the weather. Oh
Yep.
my God. Program drums are not, this song kicks ever loving ass. And
Sure.
it doesn't stop until it wants to stop. And you're taken along for the ride. The drums, again, program or not, are heavy, they're dramatic. Um, the vocals are delivered passionately. This song was re-recorded three times. This version on the Songs from the Big Chair version, to me, is the definitive version. I'm not sure who does the background vocals, the overdubs, but I believe it's Ian Stanley. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, this song was also released as a single for the album. I don't believe it gets enough mention, and check it out.
Right.
All right.
So I'm glad you mentioned that this is a re-recording because it goes back to what we were kind of talking about at the top of the episode
Yeah.
with the police re-recording "Don't Stand So Close to Me." To me, here's a case of them finally doing it till they got it right. Um, I agree. This is the definitive version of of that track, despite its earlier recording and earlier release as a single. Um, Glad they went back to the drawing board on that one to
Yeah.
do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I agree with you. I think this is an underrated track, an understated track in terms of making lists and stuff. I think this version of it is spot on. It is dramatic. It is epic in scope, even though it's only 4 minutes in length, 4 minutes and change. It is dramatic in scope and in presentation and arrangement, and it just delivers on all levels.
Packs a lot in that 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Jeez. Like, oh my God. Okay, I need another cigarette along with the coffee. We're moving on, ladies and gentlemen.
1986.
The,
You got it.
86 has so many great albums, and therefore, a lot of great songs. I'm gonna pick one that's it's Perfection, gosh darn it, and it's probably not one that trips off most people's tongues. This only hit um, the U.S. mainstream rock chart, which is different than the Hot 100 chart. This only got up to number 23. This is the Smithereens Behind the Wall of Sleep. Absolutely thunderous power pop, emphasis on power, just really some grinding guitars and some just outstanding singing. So many great songs are about, unrequited love, and this is definitely in that category. Um, if anyone has heard of Jeannie Shrimpton, it's because of this song. Um, and just the whole image of, she stood just like Bill Wyman. That's just such a fantastic image to sort of put in there in a song. I just think this is it's an outstanding song from an outstanding album. Um, this this Smithereens album that broke them wide open also has Blood and Roses. Um, it's just outstanding, and I think Armando, there's a copy of this in a box that's on one of your shelves. If
There is.
folks aren't familiar with the Smithereens and especially this song "Behind the Wall of Sleep," it's a slice of perfection, people.
Okay.
Absolutely stunning track.
Okay. Ken,
everybody have fun tonight.
Wang Chung.
Wang
Okay.
Chung. Very few things scream mid 80s than Wang Chung. Um, whereas overall, I'm not a huge fan. I really do like this song. The the production and especially the oh gosh, the guitars, um, everything about the recording of it as a guitar player, I just find really catchy. really distinct, very creative in what they've done. Um,
Yeah.
the title fits the mood of the song. Um, um, if you have epilepsy, don't watch the video.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
well, yeah,
Because the images interchange so quickly.
so fast, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's a,
yeah, at your own risk. But it's to me, this is just a frickin' fun song. Very upbeat. Um, like I said, this is what I put in the category of a party song. I don't shake my ass very often, but I would definitely shake someone else's to this. Yeah,
Would you like pick them up and literally shake them or?
maybe.
I'm moving on.
You've already mentioned Christine Brinkley, so Christine
I'm
Brinkley.
moving on. I have a pick for 86. Prince with Mountains from the Parade album, served as a soundtrack for the movie Under the Cherry Moon. Mountains is like 3 minutes and 30 seconds or 3 minutes and 18 seconds, but just a perfect pop funk track. There is I have it on vinyl, a 9 minute version, extended mix of this track, but it's just a really good piano driven track with big drum sounds. Again, he's using the Linn drum to its drum machine to its utmost capabilities. And yeah, it's just a great track. And just quick mention of 85, Simple Minds Alive and Kicking from Once Upon a
Yeah, the follow-up, the
Yes,
the album that was
yeah,
the follow-up to the
I
single.
agree.
Yeah.
featuring Robin Clark, wife of Carlos Alomar, who did backup vocals for David Bowie, on backup vocals on this track. Thank you very much. Mic drop. I'm done. Um,
Who also knew who Elvis Costello was.
there you go. There you go. All right.
There's the connection.
There you go. Okay.
Sources? Give me your sources on that.
Okay. Jim, 87.
87. Um,
Come
Trying to
on.
come up with a pithy Elvis Costello connection here, and I'm
Oh,
failing to do
Lord.
it. Yeah, I know.
Bring
See
it,
what we
Jim.
begat.
Oh,
This
come on.
song hit all the way to number 13. It should have been number one as far as I'm concerned. It is just about as perfect as a pop rock song can be, and that is Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House.
Woo!
Um,
Okay.
uh, yes, it's with all the ooze, everyone knows how awesome it is. Just one point in trivia, Joe Satriani is on this track as a backup singer.
Yep.
He does not play guitar.
Didn't know that.
Joe Satriani as a singer. Who'd have thunk? But yep, he's there.
Okay. Okay. Good to know.
I have just a quick thing. I think in the club tours that Crowded House did, um, I think I saw them 3 times on the swings around the Bay Area that they did for their debut album.
Mhm.
Um, all of it just outstanding. Some of my most favorite concert memories. Sorry, Ken. I know that breaks your heart. They didn't get down to Florida or Louisiana much.
Why do you hurt the man by talking about it? Why?
Because he enjoys it.
There you go.
Infliction of pain upon Ken is,
A bonus? Is that what you're saying?
I guess.
Okay.
He's referencing the song "Cruel to Be Kind," um,
Which,
which was written by Nick Lowe, who produced the first four Elvis Costello albums.
Good
thank
to be
you.
kind in the right measure. Okay. You
Well,
got
I
to be
did my
cruel to
best
be.
to understand, dear. Come on.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ken.
We may tear the envelope while we're stretching it, but
Okay. All right. Um, Ken, your pick?
my pick is so close to Jim's, it's not even funny, but I'll still laugh anyway. Crowded House, something so strong. I'll choose
Yes.
another track off of that. Um, and that doesn't mean it's better than Don't Dream It's Over, not at all. Um, uh, and just a great upbeat, love song. Um, I loved playing it on acoustic guitar back in the day. Like I said, I've been a strong Crowded House fan since they were the Split Ends. So um, it just shows how infectious Neil Finn's songwriting is. And
Mhm.
I'll say it again, he is an unappreciated guitar player. Whether it's rhythm or even lead, he just doesn't. He just chooses not to do a lot of guitar solos.
Okay.
But yeah, the fact that Satriani is on this album, but not playing guitar because he wasn't needed because Neil he just nailed it. The whole album is just one of the best debut albums in my catalog.
Okay.
Yeah, something so strong, just a feel good, upbeat, up tempo love song. It's great. They didn't get much better than this.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly to me, even though it is a debut album, I mean, it had how many years of, you know,
Sure.
practice within
Yeah.
split ends to get to this point.
Yeah,
Um,
because two-thirds of Crowded House came out of Split Ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yep,
the drummer and the guitar player. Yeah.
and
Yep.
Neil, yep.
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 All right. My quick pick for 87 now, usually um a repeat. Prince with I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man.
Okay.
Sign of the Times. This track goes all the way back to 1979. And if you have the box set of Sign of the Times, which I do, you will find the original 1979 version of I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man. And I do not mean the edited version that was on radio. I mean the full 6 minute, 30-second version on the
Yeah.
album. And
You
if
know,
you watch the Sign of the Times movie, Sheila E. on drums, a monster. Sheila Escovedo,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
bloody hell. I
yeah,
Well,
mean,
she comes from a pedigree of amazing drummers, so
um,
yeah.
she delivers, and the song overall is just a banger of a track. Melodic, catchy, great guitar. It had the hook. Not to be confused with You Got the Look. I mean,
I
Look,
was gonna go
I
there,
knew
and you just
um, but yeah, if you can get yourself a copy of the box set of the Sign of the Times album, it is worth it. It is worth it. But this one song, it was emotional, it was catchy, it had the hook, and yeah, it was it for me. This is you can imagine, you can hear from my picks where my mind was at musically during the 80s. It was more pop oriented than rock, but no less effective or infectious. Perfection confection all the way.
I think Armando, you're kind of teeing yourself up for an episode of just like a Prince top 10 of from each year of the 80s. That might be a whole other episode in itself.
We'll
very
talk.
long episode.
We'll talk.
Yes.
All right, Jim,
88.
88.
1988 topped at number 35 on the Billboard US charts. This is a cover and um it's Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles. Um the original by Simon and Garfunkel, um, was sort of a deep, deep, deep cut on their Bookends album. I'm not sure. Oh, no, I am sure. The Bangles had been playing this live since like 1982, and I don't know who paired them with Rick Rubin to record this on the Less Than Zero album, but the combination of the Bangles harmonies and Rick Rubin's deft production. I mean, this is just an absolute monster of of a track. And I believe in my not so humble opinion, it really eclipses the original version from 1968. Um, it's just powerful, harmonic, hooky. You could put this thing on repeat almost all day, and I would be absolutely fine hearing it. There's just so many wonderful touches and moments in this whole thing, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Bangles, Hazy Shade of Winter.
All right. Ken?
Longtime fan of this artist from his early days, way back in the '60s, where he was known as Little Stevie. And at this point, his name is Steve Winwood with the song Roll With It. I
Oh,
love me
bluesy.
some,
Okay. Oregon. Oh my God. Yeah.
I've always loved Steve Winwood, with whatever band he was in or albums.
Hmm.
But when this came out, this was just absolutely, this was absolutely perfect for me. With the brass section. This shows to me Steve Winwood at his pinnacle as far as vocals, song, production, um, and uh, in '88 I wasn't listening to a lot of radio, so actually it rated higher on the charts than I thought it did. When I discovered it, I thought I found a hidden gem, but thank goodness, no. It's
Okay.
gotten really good recognition. Um, and the album has some other really good songs on it too. I'm surprised, or maybe a little disappointed, the album itself didn't sell better than it did,
Hmm.
because this is not this isn't the soft rocker from Ark of the Diver or whatever, which is a great
Yeah.
album.
Or back in the high life. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but this, oh gosh, starts off with that brief but hard drum riff, to start it off, pow, boom,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the
Yeah. That
brass
drum.
comes
Yeah.
in. It's got him playing that B3 organ and those vocals. It's a powerhouse for me.
Okay.
Steve Winwood, roll with it. Excellent.
So do you prefer the Roll With It album to over Back in the High Life?
Yeah, it's a little hard. It's to me, it's harder hitting.
Okay.
I'm not saying Back in the High Life and Ark of the Diver are not good albums. They're great albums, but I liked him as a bit of a harder rocker,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and so yeah, I mean, Dirty City off that other album is just really killer, but it didn't do much on the charts, but
Yeah.
just really solid. And I think working with Eric Clapton again really kind of sparked that harder sound from him,
Hmm.
and really kind of revitalized. But he's just phenomenal.
Yeah. I found it kind of interesting reading that he was briefly thinking about forming a group with Jimi Hendrix
Makes
back in
sense.
the Traffic days, etc., or prior
Yeah.
to that. Yeah. Yeah. My
It's
pick,
too bad
another.
we didn't get another Blind Faith album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One with a person that would be of age on the cover. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
My pick for 88 is from a duo, a synth pop duo, signed to Reprise Records, one album wonder, really a no hit wonder, really, called Take Two or Times Two, sorry, Times Two. They did a cover of Simon and Garfunkel's Cecilia.
Mm.
Okay.
Uh, Featuring Paul Simon on background vocals. They did an album self-titled Times Two, released on Reprise Records in 1988. Their lead-off single from the album, "Strange but True," was the first single, but I prefer uh, their cover of Cecilia, and there is a video for it. but they were not one album wonder. They were dropped from Reprise shortly after, and they broke up. So
The end.
the end. Moving on.
Thus is the tale of times two.
There we go.
Sure.
Yep.
Yep. Jim.
Ah, me. Okay. The last year of the decade, 1989. This is going out with the minute I first heard this song, I just thought, yeah, this pop songs don't get much better than this. And frankly, I was surprised because I did not expect this level of pop perfection from these guys. This is Mayor of Simpleton by XTC.
Yeah.
Um, now it melodically, rhythmically, from a performance standpoint, the way the bridge works on this song is just pure pop confection. In fact, it's the bridge on this song that
Yeah.
really kind of hooked me into it. Um, the bass playing, Colin Moulding on bass, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just rips. Pat Mastelotto from Mr. and eventually King Crimson on drums on this track. Um, I do have um, I still hold it against this song that it's such kind of a blatant thematic ripoff of What a Wonderful World by Sam Cooke. Um, but um, the song is like so darn good. I just overlook that. You know, the Sam Cooke, don't know much about history, don't know much biology. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't hear it, but okay.
I'm not, I'm saying thematically, not harmonically, not melodically. I'm just saying from a theme standpoint, the song's about, I don't know much about this, but if you and I can be together, what a wonderful world. You can
I
compare
got it
that to
now.
what
Okay.
you compare it to what Andy Partridge was doing and Mayor of Simpleton with all the comparisons, and it just,
Never heard it. Okay. All right. I'm thinking of the lyrics.
yep.
Okay. No, I
Kenny,
got it.
you
I
with
got
me
it.
now?
I got it. I feel
Yeah,
you. I feel
I,
you.
I I never made the connection, and I can see it, but it doesn't come to mind
Yeah.
still, even knowing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just where I was at, but I'm like, oh man, it's too bad
Fine.
that there's that element to it. But sure, but even despite that, the song is like 100% one of the greatest things that ever came out of 1989.
Okay. Granted.
Yeah.
Ken?
Boy, I tell you, this is I'm almost cringy to mention this band, but couldn't help it. It's their first two albums were infectious. That's the Fine Young Cannibals, and I'm going with Good Thing.
Doot doot.
80s had a lot of hand clapping, and this was one. Fine Young Cannibals, yeah. I I like them because they're one of the bands that came out of the beat, or in the US, the English beat,
Yep.
which I was a fan of. Um, so when they split up, I followed the two bands that came out of it, Fine Young Cannibals and General Public. So
I
yeah,
keep thinking we were in the bathroom, but go on.
yeah.
You were in
And
the
Elvis
bathroom.
Costello
Okay.
used the bathroom in the 80s, so there's our connection there.
Thank
So
you.
Fine Young Cannibals, yeah, it's they were what they were. This took the beat into a more of a straightforward pop, no, not so much the reggae or the ska style.
Yep.
And hey, you know, radio play and sales showed that it worked. So
Well, yeah,
yeah,
I mean, Roland Gift as a vocalist, I mean, you can't
sure.
talk about, a voice just destined for radio. My
Yeah,
gosh, it's beautiful, beautiful
I would
voice.
also mention Don't Look Back from the same album.
yeah.
Okay.
And I
But
really
that's not
did,
my pick.
yeah. And from this band at the time, I really liked their cover of Suspicious Minds.
Thank you.
But I've it's on the verge of overplay for me.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
it's still a great cover. You
Mhm.
know, so Fine Young
Featuring
Cannibal. You know,
featuring Jimmy Somerville on background vocals for
that's right.
Suspicious Minds. That high falsetto, I'm like, oh my God.
Sure.
He doesn't even have to grab anything in order to reach that pitch. But I mean,
No,
it's like,
no, no clothespins
ba-dum-bum.
necessary. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And clothespins
The
on the hip.
clothespin free zone.
There we go. All right. Um, my pick for
Release
1989.
plan.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. As I cover up.
I
Ken,
got props. Yeah.
it's got mad props.
My pick
Mad.
for 89, we're going in the rock vein. We're going with Queen from The Miracle.
Hey,
Track 10 on the album, last track on side two. Was it all worth it? Was never released as a single. An autobiographical track written by Freddie Mercury. Heavy rock as all get out. Heavy drums. Um, Heavy guitar. Really good, thick harmony guitar from Brian May. Good harmony vocals from the band. Different levels, different peaks and valleys, different textures going on here. Very epic in scope and in presentation and arrangement. And the lyrics are basically about somebody who's looking back on his life and wondering, did he do
My
the right
God,
thing?
what have I done?
Did he
Yeah.
do the right thing? The lead off lyric is what is there left for me to do in this life? Did I achieve what I have set in my sights? Am I a happy man or is this sinking sand? And then it goes into the chorus.
yeah.
Um, and then at the end of the song, basically he screams it was worth it. They did everything they wanted to do on their own terms. Very little concessions, very little backpedaling. And in the end, to them, it was worth it. And it was, again, very epic track, 5 minutes and change, 5 minutes, and almost 6 minutes. But overblown or not, it is a good representation of where Queen would go for the next album into the 90s. So
Very good.
that is my final pick. Was it all worth it from The Miracle on Queen?
Very good.
There we go, guys. Perfection Confection,
Absolutely.
hits of the 80s. Uh, Please put down in the comments your opinions of our picks. And if there's any tracks that we missed of any genre, dance, pop, rock, folk, whatever, independent, indie rock, indie folk, indie dance,
Bring
whatever,
it.
put down the list and maybe we'll learn something.
Bring it.
Bring it on. Right? So, um, for Jim and Ken, otherwise known as Frick and Frack, I'm Armando Venditti signing off for now. Please click like and subscribe and do hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content we've got coming up. We've got more shows in the can that we're working on, and we will bring them to you as soon as we possibly can. All right. Again, please look after yourselves and one another, and we'll see you soon with more videos. Bye for now.